If you haven't explored the Maritime Alps during your visit to the French Riviera, you've missed out on half the magic of this region. So let us take you on a journey to the breathtaking Mercantour National Park. Join us for a hike to a cozy mountain shelter and a charming little lake. And hopefully you'll be as excited as we were when we met these sweet fellas.
Just a quick stop in this cute village to get some sandwiches, because then we really want to go up in the mountains and start our hike.
We almost lost track of time in Saint-Martin-Vésubie, a typical mountain village that is full of life and fun to explore, even early on a Sunday morning. It's one of those blistering hot August days that are almost unbearable on the coast. So we thought we'd try to escape the heat and take you on one of the great day trips available here. Just a few minutes after you leave the highway at Nice-Saint-Isidore, you're surrounded by impressive mountains. Instead of going by car, you can also take the bus from Nice and get right to the starting point of our hike. Either way, you'll pass by several typical mountain villages, like Lentosque, which are always worth a stop, even if it's just for a cup of coffee or to grab a bite to eat before or after your hike. We decided to take a break in Saint-Martin-Vésubie, which is a bit over an hour from Nice. Parts of the village were dramatically hit by Storm Alex back in 2020, when intense rainfall caused major flooding and landslides. You can still see traces of the catastrophe all along the river Vésubie around here. The old town, however, is as quaint and beautiful as ever, with a market every Saturday and Sunday morning. You'll find people and their furry friends relaxing in cafes and small stores where you can discover local products and handicrafts. Here's the local tour guide's office, where you can book guides for all sorts of mountain activities, from cycling and climbing to hiking. A unique feature of the village is the small stream that runs through its heart.
Now it's really time to start our hike. Let's go!
If you aren't so much into hiking, why not check out the Vésubie Mountain Park right in the village? It offers indoor versions of most mountain activities. Or you could visit the Alpha Wolf Park. There you can observe 2 packs of wolves in their natural habitat.
We are really happy that the Wolves Park is open again. We've already done it and it's really cool, but we won't have time to do it today.
No, Anja and I need to get going if we want to make the full tour we've planned for today. Just a few more kilometers to drive, and the landscape keeps getting more and more spectacular. And then we're parked and almost ready to go. But first things first, packing a well-prepared backpack is essential for hiking in the high Alps. You need to follow certain rules and stay vigilant about the weather, etc. We're bringing rain capes as the weather forecast isn't looking great today. Umbrellas can come in handy too, along with some warmer clothes, even if you can't quite imagine it could actually get chilly. Of course, you need to bring plenty of food and water, and don't forget sunscreen, because the sun is pretty strong up here. Hiking sticks aren't essential, but they can be very helpful. And now, let's get going. Our first stop will be the shelter known as Refuge de Cougourde. Right where we parked, we passed this sweet restaurant. Definitely keep it in mind for a refreshing drink after your hike. We come across the first animals for today. And then, things are getting serious. We arrive at another parking lot.
And now finally the official hike starts.
We chose a medium-level hike for today. The trail includes a 500-meter altitude difference over a total distance of about 10 kilometers. Planned for 4 hours, plus extra time for a picnic. The recommended hiking period for this trail is from June to November. It mostly goes uphill all the way to the shelter we're heading to, but it's not too steep. Other than Anja, I haven't been here in a while, Because starting right here, we're in the heart of the highly protected national park. That means no dogs, not even on a leash. The rules are generally quite strict in the park, which is one of only 11 national parks in France and its overseas departments.
Bonjour. That's what people do in the mountains. They greet each other with a little bonjour.
We continue our way uphill. The sun is mostly hidden behind clouds now, which is a bit of a shame for the pictures we're taking. But the panorama keeps getting better and better anyway. As you'd expect in a national park, there's beautiful wildlife all around. We saw endless blueberry fields, wild strawberries, all kinds of wild flowers, and even some that only grow in the Mercantour National Park. And we continue on our way. Only a few hundred meters further up, we're reminded again of the power of water when we again see the aftermath of Storm Alex from 4 years ago. Have you noticed that we're not the only ones on this trail today? Sometimes it feels almost like hiking on a motorway, but it's still so peaceful. While many head straight to the lake, we're aiming for the shelter first.
You find those piles of rocks everywhere on your hiking trail, and they're even more important if you're off-road, meaning you're not on an official hiking trail anymore, and then they indicate you your way.
And finally, when we spot this particular mountain, we know the shelter is close by. Just a few more steps and there it is, le Refuge de Cougourde, at 2,100 meters above sea level, which offers the most breathtaking panoramic view. We're so ready for a cup of coffee and something to eat that we barely notice the chickens, but rush to grab a table. Luckily, since it's past lunchtime by now, we snag a table right away and order a piece of blueberry tart each. And look who's been waiting for us, a bunch of ibex moms with their kids, right next to the shelter. They must be used to crowds because they're totally chill. By the way, if you plan to spend more than a day in the mountains, there are several shelters in Mercantour National Park with simple bunk beds where you can rest your head. Our trip continues, however, and with the clouds getting heavier, we feel like we need to pick up the pace. The landscape is as idyllic as ever. We could stop every minute to capture the constantly changing scenery. And suddenly, there's movement in the rocks next to us. 2 female ibexes and their 2 kids, we assume, who keep calling for their moms. So cute. And almost unfazed by our approach, they're right next to our path, while only the kids put a bit more distance between us. And then, for us, it's just another few steps to reach the lake we've been aiming for. Under the watchful eye of a chamois this time, we enjoy the peace and quiet and take in more of the beautiful nature around us. Our friends from earlier have followed us up to the lake. Who knows where they are headed next? For us, it's time to get back to the car. Once we reach this bridge, we follow the same path we took earlier. We're exhausted, but so glad we made this trip. Did we manage to whet your appetite for a hike like this? If you're interested in more adventures, check out our hike in Anot or our trips along the most beautiful coastal paths of the French Riviera.